Manly Palmer Hall was born on March 18, 1901, in Peterborough, Ontario, Canada. His father, William, a dentist, moved away from the area when Manly was 3 and was never heard from again. His mother likewise abandoned him to practice chiropractic healing in Alaska. As a result, Manly was raised by his grandmother, who frequently moved them from place to place throughout the United States. Hall eventually became a clerk for a Wall Street firm, a job he did not enjoy. Things got worse when his grandmother died, sending him into a deep depression. Hall decided to move across the country to Santa Monica, where his mother was now living. It was here that he met an interesting character, Sidney Brownson. Brownson, a man in his 70s, ran a studio on the Santa Monica beachfront where he practiced phrenology, the pseudoscience that claims to identify personality traits by measuring the bumps of a person's skull. The two hit it off immediately, and Brownson became a mentor to Hall. During their time together, Brownson spoke about many different subjects, from reincarnation and auras to Greek philosophy and ancient spiritual traditions. Eventually, Brownson invited Hall to give public lectures with him, an activity that Hall would pursue for the rest of his life. The topics Hall spoke about ranged from practical advice on daily living to the mythological and esoteric. According to one source, Hall gave over 7,000 lectures throughout his life, many of them 2 hours long. Remarkably, these were given extemporaneously and without notes. As Hall started to gain popularity, he was invited to lecture at the Progressive Church of the People in 1919. Shortly after this, when the regular pastor took a leave of absence, Hall was appointed temporary pastor and was eventually elected permanent pastor in 1923. Among the members of his bohemian and eclectic congregation were the wealthy socialites Caroline Lloyd and her daughter Alma Estelle, whose family owned an oil field in Ventura County. Their patronage financed his world travels. He also used their contributions to amass an extensive book collection and acquire various stamps and artifacts from around the world. When he wasn't traveling or giving lectures, Hall was researching what would become his most famous work, The Secret Teachings of All Ages, which he described as an encyclopedic outline of Masonic, Hermetic, Kabbalistic, and Rosicrucian symbolical philosophy, being an interpretation of the secret teachings concealed within the rituals, allegories, and mysteries of all ages. It took him 7 years to complete, cost $150,000, and featured full-color plates from illustrator J. Augustus Knapp. The book was published in 1928 when Hall was 27 years old, and has since sold over 1 million copies. 2 years later, Hall married his secretary, Fay B. de Raven. Unfortunately, very little is known about their marriage. The recollections that have been recorded suggest that Fay was unhappy and may have been jealous of Hall. Tragically, in 1941, Fay parked her car behind a theater and took her own life by carbon monoxide poisoning. Living in Southern California, it's not surprising that Hall would have brushes with the entertainment industry. Most notably, Warner Brothers asked him for story ideas for movies. He submitted several, including stories with roles written specifically for Boris Karloff and Bela Lugosi. Ultimately, only one of Hall's ideas was produced as the movie When Were You Born in 1938. In addition to Karloff and Lugosi, Hall had a number of celebrity friends and followers. For instance, Elvis Presley was an admirer of Hall's teachings and even owned a signed copy of The Secret Teachings of All Ages. Helen Keller likewise wrote a message to Hall in a book, which read, "To Mr. Manly Hall, in whose heart there is no east or west, north or south, but the vision of all men created in brotherhood." And as late as the 1980s, John Denver would visit the Halls when he was performing nearby. One of Hall's closest celebrity friends was perhaps Burl Ives, the multi-talented singer, radio host, and actor. The two struck up a friendship after Ives met Hall's sister Helen and asked her to give Hall his hand-carved walking cane as a gift. Interestingly, both men were Freemasons who attained the 33rd degree, the fraternity's highest honor. By this time, Hall was married to his second wife, Marie, and the couple visited with Ives and his wife Dorothy on multiple occasions. Besides his amazing public speaking ability and writing The Secret Teachings of All Ages, the thing Hall is best known for today is founding the Philosophical Research Society in 1934. Hall stated that the society, which still exists today, is dedicated to the ensoulment of all arts and sciences and crafts, and added, "In harmony with a classical point of view, we feel that there is a pressing need for a non-aligned institution without creed or dogma, where persons of all beliefs can seek a better understanding of life's plan. None other than NASA astronaut Edgar Mitchell briefly served as a trustee of the society before becoming somewhat disillusioned with Hall and leaving to found the Institute of Noetic Sciences. Manly P. Hall died on August 29, 1990, under mysterious circumstances. Many people were suspicious of Hall's personal assistant, Daniel Fritz, with some outright accusing him of murder. Leading up to Hall's death, Fritz seemed to be controlling Hall, and may have been misappropriating funds from the Philosophical Research Society. The whole story is described in detail in Louis Sahagun's excellent book, Master of the Mysteries, which was used as a primary source for this video. Manly P. Hall was an enigmatic and fascinating man. He was and still is seen by many people as a wise sage, even though the choices he made in his personal life sometimes conflicted with the ideals he preached. For those wishing to make their own judgments about Hall, there is no shortage of material to review, from his books to his lectures, many of which are available online.